on. Dave Allen,
How you doing?
thanks
You
so
all
much
right?
for talking to Bayloric TV yet again.
Anytime. It was great last time. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, you know what? I keep getting asked over and over and over and over again, when are you going to talk to Dave Allen? When are you going to talk to Dave Allen? And I say, well, I'd like to see the guy in person now that I'm in the UK, but if I can't get to see you now, the next best thing I can do is get a Skype call over to you and find out what's going on.
Absolutely. We tried meeting up, but obviously uh, prior obligations for the both of us. Obviously, I've been hard training. You've been getting some massive interviews, so
Well,
that's
tomorrow it's Tyson and Chisora in London, so I'll probably be there at that.
yeah. And there's Tyson's very entertaining,
Yep.
so I'm sure that'll be a great interview. And Derek Chisora, the man's a little bit.
You
He's
never
going
know
to be.
what could happen there.
I wouldn't say that to his face, but yeah, they're both really interesting, and that's why that fight is going to be big. They're both
Absolutely.
characters as well as good fighters.
But
So,
tonight's not about them, it's about you.
yep,
Now, the last time we spoke, the confident Dave Allen was talking to me about his upcoming opponent, and you didn't think he'd last very long, and you thought you'd do what you were going to do to him. And the last thing I heard, I looked at a tweet, and the next tweet I saw it was, "Ooh, Dave Allen's moving over to Team Fury."
yep,
And I read a tweet about along the lines of, my performance was shocking. I didn't look very good, blah, blah, blah.
yep.
Talk us through what exactly happened.
Well, since the last time I had a fight before the incident, I would call
Right.
it an incident with a
The incident.
Bulgarian. I fought Moses Matuvu
Right.
on a rainy Sunday afternoon in Sheffield.
Right.
Uh, I got there. I weighed in 18.3. Um, didn't feel. I mean, I weren't training, but I just thought.
Wait. Whoa. We're not even getting to that point. I weren't training.
I weren't training. I mean, I was doing one session a day for an hour, 5 days a week. And my trainer, Mick Marsden, a very good friend of mine, he was doing a great job. He doing the hour that I was doing. I was working hard. Whenever I go into a gym, I work hard
Right.
because I've got 100% respect for him. But when I went home, you have never seen a man eat like I used to eat. It was crazy, really. I was eating myself in into being very fat. Actually, I was very fat at the time, but I didn't realise that until I was at another boxing show and someone said, "That's what you used to look like." And that's so I thought, wow, that's I can't believe I used to look like that. But the Matuvu fight, I took the fight, and he's a great man, Moses. It was great for me before the fight, never mind after the fight. So I got in there, and we had a move around. It was basically a move around. It wasn't planned out to be that way. He didn't say, "Don't hit me, don't do this." I was in the shape, and I caught him with some shots early on. I had 4 stone on the man, and he wasn't interested. Because if he'd have come to me and had a fight, then obviously with a 4 stone weight difference,
Yeah.
he'd been in for an hard night. So he moved, and I weren't in great shape, so I let him do it. You know, it weren't a great day for me, but it was another win. So I was 5-0. You know, I've had some big knockouts. People were saying Dave Allen, he's this and that. So I thought, well, that's another win. I'll keep moving on, get to 6-0, and just keep going. See how far this natural ability will take me and the punch. But then we got after that fight. You know, my manager Dennis said that's pretty poor, to be honest, Dave. Uh, but me and my trainer at the time, Mick said it was a good performance. It was controlled. It was controlled due to my own lack of fitness. If you get
Right.
me,
So it was based on the fight options for you were based on the fact that you lacked the fitness to do what you should have done, which is to have the engine to have a high work rate and probably get the guy out of there, which you couldn't do, or not you couldn't do, you didn't want to do, or unable to do
yeah.
because even if you wanted to do it, you couldn't do it because you weren't fit enough.
No disrespect to Moses Matuvu, but 100% me 100% fit stops him
Right.
due to the fact him being basically a super middleweight fighting against men the size of myself compared to him. Due to that reason only, he's a good fighter, but obviously he knows his role in boxing and he's doing it. But I
Right.
would have stopped him purely on size alone and the difference in size and power. I would have stopped him at 100%. I'm pretty sure of that.
Okay.
That's no slight on him. That's just on purely on a size, purely because of the size. But after that fight, I know I had a fight on the 29th of March in Newcastle Arena.
Right.
So we sat down. And Mick said, "Get an opponent. Let's find an opponent." So I said, "All right." He said, 6 threes, 4 threes. I said, 4 threes. So we took the fight and we found a Bulgarian, 1-1-1, and he had a draw with an opponent that I'd knocked out in a minute. So I said, well, you never know. So only after the fight I found out it wasn't a 1-on-1 Bulgarian, a typical Bulgarian. But anyway, we took the fight. I trained for it. I was doing what I was doing before. I think I was just a pound or two lighter than the Matuvu fight, which is nothing. I could lose a pound or two on the day by not having a drink of water or having a sandwich. That's basically what a pound or two is. So we took the fight, and I saw the man just as he was walking to the ring. And I looked at him, and I looked at Mick, and pardon my French, I said, "What the fuck have you done?" The man was it was a mountain of a man. He was in great physical shape. And that's what I turned around to him and said. I got in the ring, stood opposite the man. I was confident I was going to beat him, always confident. But if I land the shot, he'll go. I can outbox him, even though I'm not fit. I got in there the first round. I got back to the corner and I sat down and I said to Mick, I said, "Mick, this man is strong." And I said, "He's hitting me. And I've never been hit like this in my life." He said, "Don't worry about it. You've won that round. Go out and win the next round. Boxing, don't get involved." Went out. I won the second round. I won the first and the second round easily. Came back for the second round. I was spent completely gone. Absolutely gone. So for the third round, I went out, put my hands up, cupped them around my ears, tried pushing them on back, got in a fight. I caught him with a beautiful right hand and stood up to it. I hit with the right hand, took it, came back, and and then he won this back end of the third round. The third round could have gone either way, so I could have won by a point.
Right.
The last round, he was hitting me with body shots, and to be honest, I don't know, I stood up, so I was gone. Completely gone. Couldn't get a breath in. Couldn't lift my arms up. Made it through the end of the round. Went over to me. He went, "You've run that 3 rounds to 1." Said, "Bad performance, but you've won 3 rounds to 1." Went over to the referee, scored it a draw. But he scored it a draw. I giggled to myself. I said, "David, this is it now. You either knuckle down, sort yourself out, do it properly, or pack in. Because if this Bulgarian who you've just got a draw with is doing that to you, getting there with a dangerous man, I'm going to get seriously hurt if I get in that shape." And then that's where the Furies came along.
So, so was it you went to the Furies, or the Furies came to you, or was it some sort of Twitter conversation? How did you connect with the Furies?
Basically, I knew Huey from
Right.
the GB assessment weekend.
Right.
You know, from there, we didn't make best friends on the weekend or anything, but we knew each other. You know, and I did a IFL interview. You know, with Coogan. No, I can't. Well, with the boys anyway. And I made a comment, just a joking comment. Huey Fury, I'm better than Huey Fury. I'll beat him up and all this. You know, just a joking comment.
Yeah.
Huey's seen it, a bit of Twitter banter, and luckily that's how I got in touch with Peter as well. So I've known Peter now for over a year. And then after the fight, I went into the office with Dennis, and I had no intention of leaving Mick whatsoever. After the fight, I fought on the Saturday. On the Sunday, I couldn't move. I could barely move. But I was back training on the Monday. I was running. I was training like a maniac. I had a week. Then Dennis called me. Said, "Come and see me." Went and seen him. He said, "You need to do something about it." He said, "You need to sort yourself out now. But if you don't want, if you're not going to do it properly, don't waste my time. Don't waste anyone else's time. Most of all, don't waste your own time." So he said, "What do you think about Peter Fury?" And I said, "Well," so it looks like it's the place to be. We've got some of the best heavyweights in the world there, and I can only improve and get better from doing so. So he rang Peter, and luckily Peter were happy to have me come to the camp.
Wow. So, on your entering Team Fury, with the, well, I don't want to sound disrespectful, but I don't want to call, but at the same time, it was maybe a lazy attitude. Turn up to Team Fury, and I've seen these guys train like commandos. Um, were any words said to you like, "Hey, mate, listen, I saw that performance, which was part of my friend piss poor.
Mm.
You can't be coming here doing that nonsense because we're not gonna have you." Did Peter Fury say anything to you before you actually? I mean, to know somebody outside of professionally working with them is different to, "Oh, hi, how you doing, mate? I've known you. You're in your gym. I'm not going to really bother with you because we're just talking, passing
Mm.
by." And but now you're actually walking to run with. Now you're doing business with somebody and you're
Yeah,
representing their label. It's a different conversation.
yeah, definitely. I mean, the day after, Peter was there. Eddie Chambers was the fight after, and I
Yeah,
saw someone commented to Peter, "Dave Allen got a draw last night." Peter put some. I can't remember the exact words, but obviously Peter saying it when he said, I can't remember the actual words, but it was basically, Dave, it didn't look great. It didn't
yeah,
look great. This was this. So I thought, well, all right, I'll have my hands up. Yeah, I knew it was poor,
yeah.
but obviously he said so. I thought, but I got to the camp, and I've always been one of them. If someone says to me, do this, and they're putting their time in for me, I'm gonna give it 100%.
Right.
Whereas before, I was only getting an hour a day of someone saying do this. Now I'm getting hours and hours a day.
So
I
wait.
get,
So when you turned pro and you went with the train that you had,
mm,
surely in your back of your mind you must have known. Look, I'm a professional fighter. The best are training hour after hour after hour, day after day after day. You see Floyd Mayweather doing it, and somehow you think by training 1 hour a day, every day, is somehow going to get you into the peak condition to be the best that you could be in the country. I mean, logically, I'm trying to look at this out logically, without again trying to be disrespectful, but trying to understand what, because you're not the only boxer that would have done that. There are so many
uh,
other boxers that may be in your situation now that may be making the same mistake. So this isn't just about, oh, let's slam Dave Allen for what he did because he's the only person in the world that does it, but let's learn from Dave Allen. You're a young fighter. It's not like you're like 40 odd or 30 odd making a comeback or something. You're a young fighter. You've got years ahead of you and you're a talented fighter.
mm,
What I'm trying to understand is how that setup was in the first place allowed, because it's boxing, it's not football. In football, as you know, you pass the ball to somebody else and you can get your breath back. In boxing, as you know, one punch can go all wrong.
yeah.
I mean, like all wrong. And so the highest amount of professionalism is necessary. You can't play in that, and clearly you were. So I know, obviously, you've moved on from that, but to come back and examine it as to why you did that or why you took those decisions is, raises questions.
I think a lot of it is. I started boxing late. My first fight was just less than 4 years ago.
Right.
And I started boxing. And then my first 8 fights. I won a national title.
Yeah.
I was the best fighter in England under the age of 20.
Wow.
And I did it. I did it like it was nothing, to be honest. At the time,
Ah.
I did it, and I thought, just won a national title. That was pretty easy. But I was training hard then, and I kind of took my foot off the gas. I mean, I did that in the first year, so that's 3 years now. I've not been in shape for 3 years. I've not been in shape for 3 years. Um, and after that, I just thought this is pretty easy. Go in there, swing the right hand, good night. I was getting used to that. Um, and I got beat in the amateurs. When I got beat, that was just purely down to not being in shape. I was losing. I think I lost something like £10 on the night before to make the 14-4 limit. I was getting in the ring absolutely dead. And I lost the two-time ABA champion by 2 punches, by 2 shots, 2 points. The two-time ABA champion, GB champion, I lost by, and I was only 19. He was a grown man. I lost by 2 punches, and so and again. I still thought I can still do this. I've just done that. I mean, I'm not in shape. I've killed myself to make the weight, and I'm just running that close. Arguably, could have gone either way.
Ah, so what you're basically saying is because things were so easy for you, you slacked
Yeah,
off. So okay,
yeah.
good. So you did it. So but then the flip side is, well, if this is so damn easy for you, and you're doing what you do at the moment, imagine what you could do if you trained twice as hard. Or what about thinking it that way?
I think a lot of it is the amateur gym that I was at.
Yeah.
I turned up to the gym. I did what I wanted.
Ah.
They didn't say anything to me. It was like, Dave's here now. I did about 20 minutes shadow box in the mirror. I went round picking on the little kids, having a little laugh and a joke. And I'd go home and I'd spar with some of them and mess about and I'd go home. But they never said anything to me. I think it was
Ah.
the fact that I was winning stuff for the club and they was happy for me to do that. As long as I was winning stuff, it weren't a case of you need to do this so we can win the next thing. It was just keep winning. I think they thought I was going to win everything just purely on doing what I was doing.
Wow. So you've had what they call a reality check at the right time as well.
But at my first 5 professional fights, it was so easy, and I was holding my own with like Anthony Joshua in sparring. I was sparring with him. I was sparring with a lot of world class fighters, and I wasn't getting on top of any of them, but I was in there, and I thought, well, this is easy. I was in there at one point with Josh. I think I was weighing 20 and a half stone, literally fat hanging over my protector, and doing six rounds and sparring with Fraser Clark and Joe Joyce, not in great shape, and they're really top fighters. And I weren't getting the best of them by no means, but at the same time, I was doing these 6 rounds. I'm thinking this is easy, and I was fighting Eastern European journeymen, knocking them out. And I thought this is easy. This is going to go on forever. Because at the time, you're 6 weeks away from a fight. It feels like a lifetime.
You know, funny listening to you now, listening to you, and then I've interviewed Tyson Fury, and I remember Tyson telling me when he started his career, he'd go out boozing, drinking,
Yeah,
womanizing, and turn up to fights out of shape and still winning fights. So there's parallels between yourself and Tyson Fury there in terms
yeah,
of the attitude you took.
yeah,
And guess who's come along and cleaned you up? Like Peter Fury's done it for Tyson. You can see what's
yeah.
happened to Tyson now. And then yourself now, it's kind of, been on the old plank, and now you've kind of got it together now with Peter Fury. So, okay, see, now you're in the gym with Peter Fury. Obviously, you've got Tyson Fury there, Eddie Chambers there, Huey Fury there,
Yeah.
and whoever else is at the gym, right? Now, you walk into the gym, Dave Allen had that fight against that bloke, wasn't a good performance. How were you received?
How I was received when I turned up to the camp.
Yeah.
Um, well, on a personal note, they've been absolutely great with me. They've been
Right.
fantastic.
Right, right,
They've
right, right.
been living with Eddie Chambers, and we've really struck up a really good friendship. He comes home with me on the weekends to my own house. We go out together. He's met my friends. We go out. We got on really well. He kind of took me under his wing and really made me feel comfortable there. So I'm
Fantastic.
really grateful for that. He's a really nice man, and he really helped me settle in.
Excellent.
There's young Huey, Tyson's brother. He lives with us, and he's been great as well. He's younger than me, but he looks a lot older, and he's older in every way possible. And he's been a great help. And Isaac,
Yes.
and all the others, the guests that have been in, everyone's been fantastic. But I think that's all boxers. All boxers seem to be very respectful towards each other,
Right.
and because they know how hard the game is and how hard the training is, you don't want to make anyone's life any harder when you go home.
I guess so, but there wasn't there. It wasn't a conversation like, what the hell happened? What was that performance about? Wasn't there the kind of question that was asked of you when you first hit the gym?
I think so because
Or question marks about your temperament? Because obviously this is a team that's training hard, and you're coming along, and their whole eyebrow must have shifted a bit.
I think I've always been known as the kid who's got all the talent in the world,
Ah, I
but
see. But
but
doesn't
won't
train.
won't train.
All right, there you go.
So I think there was I think they were probably questioning how long I stay there. I think that was probably the first thought in everyone's mind, Peters and everyone. I think they probably thought, how long's he gonna last? Probably taking bets, a week, two, three. How long's he gonna? And there has been times where I've wanted to go home.
I can
I really have
well
wanted to go
imagine.
home.
I can well imagine because now you're in a scenario where you're having to make changes. You're having to
Yeah,
do something you've never done before. But you know what they say: if you do something you've never done before, you'll get something you never had before.
yeah. It's the training, the boxing. I love boxing.
Right.
I really do love boxing. From hitting a bag to hitting a pad to sparring, I love it. There's something about it. Every time I throw a punch, I think, oh well, I could throw it in this. I could vary it like this. I could do this. I love it. It's all.
Right.
It's all. It takes up every second of my thoughts. I think about boxing. I'm not thinking about it. I'm watching it. I'm a massive fan of boxing first and foremost.
Right.
But the other training, the weight training, the running, in the sweatsuit and whatever. There were times where I come home from the gym, I'd sit on the bed, and I just think I really want to go home. And my phone in my hand, thinking, should I ring Peter and say I want to go home? There were times where when I turned up at the camp, the shape I was in was terrible, and I was straight at the deep end. I came straight in and did the sessions they were doing, and I've stuck it out, and I'm really glad that I have. I'm really glad that I have because I'm in really good shape now. I'm not in 100% shape because you can't get in 100% shape in 7 weeks from where I was at.
Right.
But this is the best shape I've been in 3 years.
So how much you weigh now?
I've been as low as 16 stone 6
Wow.
in the camp, but that was obviously this last week. I've eased off the training. These next 2 days I won't do any training whatsoever. I'm back on carbs now, fueling up. So I don't know, maybe just below 17 stone.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Which for me, only being 6'3", I'm big.
Yeah.
That's 17 stone for a 6'3" man. When he's in really a 17 stone man with with less than 10% body fat, with 6'3", that's a rather big man.
Right.
So
and you're a growing man as well. How old are you now?
just turned 22.
Well, there you go. You're young, man. You're young.
I'm getting actually when I started the camp, I was 6'3",
Right.
and I think I'm 6'4" now.
Wow.
And I think that is when before some nights I was getting 3 hours of sleep.
Right.
I was going to bed at 5 o'clock, getting up at 8. Now I'm going to bed at 10, getting up at 7:30. So I honestly think I've grown. No one believes me. You probably don't believe me, but I've grown. I've definitely grown. I think that's due.
You still got a chance to grow, haven't you? You've still got the opportunity to grow.
I think that's due to the sleep I've been having. It's really weird. Maybe that's a mental thing. I don't know, but I've grown in stature, and I've grown as a man as well because I'm having to wash my own pots and clean my own stuff as well. So if nothing else, it's turned me into a man as well.
Fantastic. So I would get absolutely assassinated if I didn't ask the question about the various sparring sessions you had and sparring the different qualities of different fighters. So the first question I'll ask you is Huey Fury. You made that comment in the I film, and obviously now the question would have been asked in the gym at some point. So were you saying what you said about me or as a joke? What you got inside the ring then, Alan? So did that conversation ever come about when you went to spar with Huey?
I sparred with him before I came to the camp full time.
Right.
It was a bit bristly. Then. But one thing I will say, he's one of the nicest young men that I've ever met.
Right.
He's and I'm not just saying that because I'm in the camp now and I'm living there and I have to say this. He's been absolutely great with me. He's been great. He's a really nice bloke. Right. He's really nice. And as far as the sparring goes, he's 6'6" and he's got arms his arms are unbelievably long.
Right.
He follows his dad's instructions to the word, right. and that is why he's going to be in years to come, and maybe sooner than that. That's why he's going to be very successful. His dad says something, he takes it to the word.
Right.
And I think that's the main reason why he'll be successful.
So
because he listens and he does it.
So when you're moving around with him, what are you seeing?
I see a very awkward man that I'd like to punch in the face, but I'm having a bit of difficulty doing so.
Right, so the long arms are giving you a problem.
Not necessarily the long arms. He's 19 years old, but he's got the maturity. The amount of fights he's had, he's very experienced. He doesn't get flustered, and he takes a great shot.
Right.
And I think ringcraft, long arms, being able to take a good shot is awkward for anybody.
Okay.
And he's very good. He's had 14 professional fights at 19 years old. There's not many people do that. So by the time that he will fight for the title, he's going to be more experienced than anyone 10 years older than him.
Okay. Eddie Chambers from cruiserweight came up to heavyweight. Is he a natural heavyweight or is he a bulked up heavyweight? Because you probably feel the strength when you're sparring against him.
He's strong. Like if you said one thing to me, you said, "What is Eddie Chambers' main asset?" I say his strength. It's physical strength.
Okay.
I would say on the weights and stuff, he lifts the most. He lifts the most. Yeah, he's short and compact, but his punches are very hard.
Right.
Obviously, they don't call him Fast Eddie for nothing.
Right.
He's world class. He's world class, and but if he wanted to, I'm sure he could turn it up on me at any time he wanted to, and
Right.
give me a lesson if he wanted to. But he doesn't. He's great like that. I learn off him. He lets me learn off him,
Okay.
and afterwards he puts an arm around me and says, "This is what you're doing wrong. This is what you need to do." But at the same time, he says, "This is good. Keep doing this."
What's that sound?
It's this. It's a prop. I'm letting Peter know that I'm drinking water.
Okay. Right.
Just,
Okay. Okay.
just let him get it out.
Right. Okay. Okay. Next, obviously Tyson Fury. Big
You know,
Daddy.
I used to watch him on the TV. Yeah.
Right.
I just think he's not that good. He's not that good, is he? He's not that good at all. I've been sparring with him, and I couldn't hit him in the. I couldn't hit, if I got a handful of rice or something and threw him at him.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd hit him with it. I think when he's switched on 100% focused, I really can't see anyone outside of Klitschko beating him. I think he's that good. He's not just a big man. He's a very athletic big man. He's as athletic as anyone I've ever been in there with. He's as fast and his movement and everything as anyone I've ever been in there with.
Okay, you sparred with Joshua. Okay, so you can tell Joshua you sparred with. Now a lot of people talk about Joshua versus Huey Fury. Look at their developments. You sparred both guys. How's that match up as a matchup?
Well, first and foremost, I see people saying that Joshua would beat Tyson.
Right.
I like Anthony. I'd class him as a friend.
Right.
But that fight, I mean, I think Anthony knows himself that Tyson's rated number 3 or 4 in the world, so that fight's a no-go anyway.
Right.
But the Huey and the Anthony fight, I think I said about 4 months ago that Joshua would win the fight.
Yeah.
And he is still 5 years older.
Right.
You know, Huey's not caught up in age with him in the last 4 months, has he?
Right.
You know, I seen Anthony the other day fighting Matt Legg, and on the offensive, he looks brilliant.
Right. But defensively.
Defensively, he looks a little bit open to me.
Right.
And when Anthony spars, you'd think 6'6", looks like he's made out of stone.
Right.
He's got all, and technically, you watch him, you think, oh, he's brilliant. He's putting these shots together, but I don't think he's got that quite yet in the ring.
Right.
I think the more I spar with Huey, the more I can see him making maybe Anthony miss a little bit.
Right.
Making him miss, making him pay. It'd be a great fight.
It'd be a great fight.
It would be a great fight, but I hope it doesn't happen anytime soon because that can be amazing. In a year's time, that's the biggest British heavyweight title fight in many a year.
Okay.
And I'll be happy to sweep up after the winner's left.
So, okay, what has Peter Fury now brought? So we talked about the fighters, the heavyweights. What does Peter Fury bring to the table now that your former trainer didn't? Or let me change that because it might sound slightly disrespectful to your former trainer. What are you learning now?
I think my old trainers, I mean, the ones that I started with as a professional, the first one trained Nigel Benn.
Right.
He trained Hunnigan.
Right.
He did some work with Frank Bruno.
Right.
You know, but he trained Matt Skelton from the very beginning.
Right.
So he was obviously his track record. I mean, that speaks for itself. My second trainer trains the world champion right now, Stewie Hall.
Right.
So I've been with 2 world-class trainers.
Okay.
But what it is with Peter as I'm not saying the other 2 didn't because I respected them for the things that they've done in the past, and I respected them both as people as well.
Right.
But Peter doesn't take any nonsense. Now, if you give me an inch, I will take a mile. If you give me an inch, I will take a mile. Peter won't give you an inch. Peter doesn't do that. If Peter says to do something, you better believe I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm not shunting it in any way. I'm just going to do it.
Right.
And it helps that going there. To be honest, I was wary. I knew it was a family team, Team Fury. I knew it was not an outsider going in there, but I didn't know how to take it. And Peter's been brilliant with me, to be honest. he's had nothing but positive stuff to say about me online and also to me. You
Right.
know, if I'm doing stuff wrong, he tells me. But I'd like to think he's developed into a friend while I've been here as well.
Right.
He's someone that I really want to succeed for because
Right.
he honestly does put 100% into the training for all of us, and he doesn't treat any one of us any worse or better than the other.
Right.
He doesn't treat his son or his nephew any different than he treats me already, and that's an amazing thing to do, really, because that's a really hard thing to do.
Okay. So, where would you say that you've improved? Like, if I was going to see, like Dave Allen previously and Dave Allen now, what am I going to see more? More punches? More bunches of punches? Am I going to see better footwork? Am I going to see better head work? Am I going to see more of the jab? What am I going to see? Because it's quite often people will say, yeah, I've gone to his training camp and I've developed and I've done things, but they never talk about what they've actually worked on. So I'd like to know where you feel that you've kind of moved one way or the other with Peter.
I think when I got there, Peter, the first time I sparred in front
Yeah.
of Peter, he liked my movement, um, and I've only had 16 fights. I've only been boxing for a very short time,
Right.
but I've been to most gyms in England. I've been to nearly every gym in Sheffield, and I've sparred nearly everybody. So my lack of experience is made up and he liked the fact that I'd been everywhere and learnt different things. And I had the confidence, most importantly, to use him. So he liked that. I think he liked me as a fighter. I think I was his type. I think if he was moulding a fighter, he'd want one that boxed a little bit like me. I would like to think. I think
Right.
that's why because he doesn't just pick up anyone. Definitely
Yes.
not. So first and foremost, when he invited me to the camp, I thought I must be good. I thought I must be doing something right because obviously, family aside, there's only me and Eddie Chambers
Yeah.
who boxed Klitschko for the world title. So if he's bringing me in and he thinks I'm good enough, because I know he wouldn't have any loot, I wouldn't have anyone in the camp that couldn't fight.
Yeah.
So I thought I'm in good company.
They wouldn't have a loser in there, that's for sure.
Definitely not. And I think since I've been there, I think everyone can see that I'm fit now.
Yeah.
You only have to look at me. I've got a 4-pack forming into a 6-pack very soon. Not straight, not straight after this fight because I might have a day or two and I might let my hair down.
Yeah.
But I'm in better shape. You can see that looking at me. I've been sparring a lot of rounds. Been doing 6 rounds, fighting 6 rounds. I've been doing 6 rounds pretty comfortably
Right.
with eye level with Tyson. Gary Cornish came to do some rounds
Right.
with Huey. I've been doing a lot of rounds, and I'm definitely fit. I can do 6 rounds at a good pace.
Right. Okay.
That's a definite.
So we know your opponent, from what I read on your Facebook page, is the War Machine, Larry Alibamor.
Ollie Bumyu.
Yeah. Okay. Right. You know that he's had a interesting past. With the whole being banned for taking
Yeah,
various concoctions of mixtures of
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
which he openly admitted.
yeah.
Now he's back. I think he got stopped recently.
Yeah, I've seen that. He got put down, but it were a bad stoppage, I thought. But
Yes.
he lost the fight, didn't he? That's simple as that.
Yeah,
He
and
got stopped.
so how did this fight come about? Because the opponent. I didn't think you were clear about who the opponent was, and then I just heard read on the Facebook page you're fighting the War Machine. Like, oh, this is quite interesting.
I think first and foremost, I think for someone who's only been boxing the amount of time that I have, my first amateur fight was after his first professional fight. I used to watch him on Sky on a Saturday night and think, Jesus Christ, I won't like him chasing me down a dark alley at night time, would you?
Yeah, exactly.
Christ, he's no, he looks like he's packing, doesn't
Yeah.
he? He's a big bloke. He's
Right.
So I used to watch him. I was a massive fan, you know. I used to think, oh, it's like all for me. Oh, he's packing some serious size, isn't he?
Yeah,
He looks,
yeah.
he looks the part.
Right.
And at the start, he was knocking everyone over.
Yes, he was.
Out cold, out cold. He was taking a few of them out cold with one shot.
Yes.
A massive fan, and he got done by McDermott in a round,
Yes. I remember the
which,
fight.
which came too early for Larry. Really,
Right.
that came too early for him. But he's been in there with John McDermott He's been in there with Sam Sexton twice.
Yes.
He's on the distance twice. In the first fight, he only lost by a point.
Right.
And we're talking about a man who's lost to a point to a man who's been in there with Derek Chisora 2 times for the
Right.
British Commonwealth. Beat
Yep.
Martin twice. That's the kind of company we're talking about. So I think people have been saying to me, "Oh, Larry, he's not this. He's off the steroids now. He's only going to take one shot." The man is a 19 stone, 6'5" human being with gloves on, not really big enough to keep your hands warm.
Right.
So I'm fully aware that if he catches me and he catches me clean with a good shot, I'm in trouble, aren't I?
Right.
I think so. For someone that with my limited experience in the game, it's definitely a risky fight. I think
It's a dangerous fight.
it's a dangerous fight, and it's one really that I don't think many six-fight novices would take with only 10-fight amateur experience behind them.
Right.
But with Peter being so confident about the fight, me being in such great shape,
I think it's a very, very, very dangerous fight. I mean, a lot of people would say, "Whoa, hold on." You know, people have got 15 fights who probably wouldn't take that.
I think a lot of people just never take him at any point because he's a puncher.
Yeah.
He's a huge puncher first and foremost, and you try and avoid him as you can. But
Right.
I think Peter thinks I'm ready for this, and if I beat him, I can't be far off a top 10 ranking in Britain.
He may be looking at your speed, your movement, and power, and thinking, well, okay, he's in shape, he's fast, he's going to be faster than if McDermott can drop him.
Yeah,
Then surely Dave, if he's got his speed and his movement, will catch him. I mean, Larry's not the great. I won't call Larry the greatest boxer, but he's got one punch knockout power, or he had one punch knockout power.
I think a big part of him not being the best boxer in the world makes him very awkward. I've been watching him; and he's awkward.
Yeah, he is very.
His lack of ability.
Yeah, yeah.
Due to his lack of ability, the fact he's so big, he jumps around the ring, he's doing all sorts.
Dangerous fight, dangerous fight. And I mean, I've spoken to some people, and they go, "Ooh, what do you think of Dave Allen taking on Larry? The War Machine looks a bit dangerous." I said, well, you know, Peter Fury, he believes that he's watched Dave, so he would have seen Dave closer than we would have done. And we the last time we've seen Dave is when he's been in the ring and a not very good performance. So really, I don't think we can look at that and then put that against Larry, because if we did that, maybe we'd understand that maybe it isn't a good fight for Dave. But under Peter's guidance, we'll see the difference.
If I hit him and his punch resistance really isn't all that, he will go to sleep.
Yeah.
He won't last one shot, because there's one thing I've always been able to do, even when I've not been the fittest. I've always been able to punch.
Right.
And even in my amateur days, I've always been taking people out with one shot.
Right.
Since then, but they'll know that they're not, and they're definitely not. A 35-year-old man looking like Ronnie Coleman, he's not going to be scared of a 22-year-old looking choir boy like this, is he?
Yeah, I can understand that.
He's not going to see me as a threat. I don't think he's going to think, because I don't look the biggest man in the world. I'm not the most intimidating bloke either.
Right.
So he's going to come into this fight thinking, little boy here, I'm going to take care.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. He's going to come into this fight confident, because I definitely don't come into it. I'm not John McDermott. I'm not Sam Sexton. I've never done anything like they've done. I'm not on their level.
Exactly.
I haven't proved.
So you're basically, in some ways, untested and unknown. Really?
Oh, of course I'm untested. I've never boxed anybody, but I'll be the first to admit that. But on potential alone, I'm a future world heavyweight champion on potential.
Right.
Larry's 35 years old now. He's been as good as he will ever be. I don't think the best Larry Olubimi can beat me right now. So if he's any worse, if he's not as good as he used to be, then he's going to be in for a long night.
So how did the fight come about? Who set the fight up, and how did it come about?
I was meant to have a rematch with the Bulgarian.
Right.
With the Bulgarian, which, with the shape I was in, was not an easy fight. There's no such thing as an easy fight, because every fight is a stressful, very stressful, grey hair inducing experience.
Right.
No matter who you're fighting.
Yeah.
But I was meant to fight him in a 6-rounder, and I thought, get fit, get sharp, do as Peter says. It's a win. It's a win. It is a win, because I fought him last time at maybe 20% of my best, and I still think I nicked the fight. He pulled out with an injury last week. They offered the fight to quite a lot of fighters, I'm told. I think a big thing of that is I sparred nearly every heavyweight in the country.
Have you
You know, I
spotted
sparred.
Larry?
I've never sparred Larry. Or Larry wouldn't take the fight. Come on, we know this. We know this. He wouldn't put the fight, would he? He wouldn't have put the fight. But for all I know, Larry might not even know who I am.
Right.
He probably doesn't even know who I am. I'm just a name on BoxRec to that man. Uh, and I hope Larry knows he disappointed me when he failed his drugs test. And I'll be telling him this at some point because, you know, I never wanted to fight. And I always said I would never ever fight Larry Olabamiro. I said that. What he did was wrong, and I think he should have been out of the game for good.
Right.
I had a lot of messages on Twitter, private messages, Twitter, Facebook. Get this drug cheat out of the game. I don't know the man. I don't know the man at all. He could be the nicest man in the world.
Yeah.
But he should be out of the game for good for what he did. But he's not. He's fighting me on Saturday night, and he's going to get knocked out
Simple.
or outpointed or beat in any fashion. I don't mind as long as I win.
That sounds great. The other question I keep getting asked over and over and over again: Why is he called the White Rhino? And as they said, every time he is asked a question, he keeps giving a different answer. So why, I'm asking again, why you call the White Rhino?
Do you know why I never tell the truth on this matter?
Why is that?
Because it is so unbelievable. No one would ever believe it. No one would ever believe why this is. But I'm going to tell you tonight. It's 11, and you've caught me at a weak moment.
Okay.
I was on a safari. In Africa.
This is true, right?
This is the truth. 3
Right,
years.
okay.
I
This
was
is
on a safari.
tell us all. This is a Bayloric Worldwide TV exclusive.
This is an exclusive.
Right,
Never
okay.
anywhere.
Right.
So I'm on a safari, right, with friends. We're on a safari.
Okay.
So we're in the truck, sat in the back of the truck, and this sounds so unbelievable. We're in the truck. We're riding around the place. We stop. We hear cries of. Well, I'm not sure what it were. We didn't know what it were at the time. It was a rhino. It was a pregnant rhino giving birth to a baby white rhino, and it was in distress. So the keepers jumped out and went over, sedated the mother rhino, and they needed help from one of us to help deliver this rhino. Can you see now why this is unbelievable and no one will believe it?
Yes, what a story! Wow!
And I helped deliver a white rhino. And I delivered it. Well, I helped deliver it. I was there. And the gatekeeper said to me, I weren't sure because his English weren't great, but he said to me, "You are now one of these. You are now a white rhino because you are part of this." That's what he said. I'm not sure if that's what he said because his English were really poor, but I think that's what I took it. That's what he said.
You White Rhino.
And my friends have called me White Rhino for since. My friends that
Wow.
was
So when
there.
I asked you the question beforehand, you said something else.
I know, but that story's so unbelievable, isn't it?
That's amazing.
It's an amazing story. It's great, great.
Wow.
It's just a shame that it's not true.
What?
It's not true. It's not true. I just made all that up. I made all that up. I just made all that
Where
up.
is
And
it? We've got one joke already called Dave Allen. We don't need another. Thank you. He was great. He was a great joker.
what a story if it was true, though. Maybe you can edit that bit out and we'll just leave it.
No. And we'll put it right in there because you don't even get all the fans as well believing that as well.
I know.
You're gonna get abused. You're gonna get abused for that. You really are.
I'm honest though. My friend the other day, Frankie Fletcher, he messaged me the other day and he said, "Are you on about boxing? So where are you doing these interviews again?"
Yeah.
Did you need to think of some more stories for when they ask you about the white rhino? Why you call the white rhino? I said, "Go on, give me a crack away." And I can't take responsibility for that. He came up with that story.
So one of your mates, Mr. Fletcher, came up with that.
Well, he gave me the bare bones. I might have added a lot in there, put a bit of body to the story,
I'll tell
but
you something. I'll tell you, there's something they said about champion liars, champion fighters, which was Muhammad Ali. So,
well, I'm it's no the real story behind the White Rhino is really quite simple.
yeah.
It really is quite simple. I was actually born in Kenya.
You said that one as well.
Have I said that one already?
Yeah, you said that one
Oh,
already. You're not going to get that one out of me this time.
no, I was. It was no, actually, it was a little country outside Kenya. It was Eritrea. I was born there, and I moved to Kenya when I was 3.
And I'm going to try and believe that one as well, am I?
And a tribe of rhinos brought me up,
Yeah, right, of course. I'm going to believe that one, right?
and then I came over to England, and I kept their name going strong.
Yeah,
To go
but
in extinct.
next thing you'll tell me you came from the planet Rhino.
England.
In a space.
Don't be silly now. I'm being serious here, and you're that's too far. That's too far.
Regardless, we know you as the White Rhino. However you got the name, you are the White Rhino.
It's sticking. It's definitely sticking.
It's sticking.
People like it. To be honest,
Absolutely.
when I was first born in Kenya and I was given the name, I wasn't sure about it. I really wasn't sure about the name.
Right.
When I was christened, when I was
Right.
given the name,
I
I
don't know
thought,
whether to believe you or not now, so I'm just going to just say, right, Dave. Right, Dave.
no. In all seriousness, I didn't think you were gonna. I didn't think you were gonna hit off. I thought people were gonna think White Rhino. What's he on about White Rhino? What a fool! But a lot of people are liking it. It's better than some of the ones that I made up for myself. Anyway, definitely.
Well, what are the ones who would you? Which ones would you have used?
I was a massive De La Hoya fan,
Golden Boy.
and I went through a period of my life where I did used to tan quite a lot.
Right.
Uh, and I use foundation now and again in year 11,
Right.
and people used to say I used to get called my friend calls me the golden boy, so I was going to go with that. For some reason, I think I'm handsome, so I was going to go with pretty boy,
Oh boy.
but other people put a stop to that.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
That was a sad day. That was a really bad day. All sorts. I had all sorts of names. I wanted to be called all sorts.
No,
Gentleman Dave, the gentleman.
no, that was from McCrory, and it doesn't really no.
Yeah.
No, no. I think
No,
White Rhino's cool.
no, it's great. People call me. I get Rhino sharps now and again.
Rhino's cool. I think White Rhino's cool. I think it's a cool name. I was going to ask you another question. The last interview we did, what were the feedback from the people that said about what did they say about the last interview?
I think people liked it, and first and foremost, I do quite a lot of interviews
Right.
uh, over the phone, for newspapers, IFL. I'm
Yeah.
from London, obviously,
Okay.
well known. But I really enjoyed our interview last time.
Right.
It was I really enjoyed. First and foremost, I really enjoyed doing it.
Right.
The IFL London interviews are really fun.
Yep.
They're really fun.
Right.
I'm a massive James Helder fan. I'm sure you
Right.
know James. I'm a
Yeah, I know
massive
James very well.
friend. I really
Big
enjoy
man.
interviews. And Coogan's very funny. I enjoy them interviews, but this feels more like a chat
Personal.
that I'm down the pub, which
Yeah,
is
that's why
which
that's why I like to keep it. You know, because I think it's. I want to know more about you. I want to know who you are.
I
It's
think
not
you
about.
get, I
Guy.
think you get better. I think you get better answers in this kind of environment.
Yeah, of course, of
You
course.
kind of switch off and forget that people are going to be watching this later.
Absolutely, and that's
Kind
what
of
it is.
forget.
That's what it's about. So people afterwards will now watching go say they become a part of the conversation and they
Yeah,
feel. And fans need that. Fans need that, and it's something that I would love to be able to do to take people like yourself, Dave, and take you round, sit down in various boxing gyms, and sit down and get fans
yeah.
to ask you questions. Dave Allen, this is my life, and talk about this is my fight. Talk about your fight as a professional fighter, and you ask questions and inspire other fighters. That's what needs to happen.
I think a lot of I think interviews like this are massive in getting people interested
A fighter.
in me as a fighter. I know that firsthand. I was on Twitter during about a year ago, maybe just a little over, I
Yeah,
had about 37 followers. I did an interview with Arthur in London. I did two over the 2 days. I gained about 600 followers
that's right. That's how it works.
because I acted up a little bit. But that's what you got to do sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just go act up, and I did get some YouTube comments that were a bit that weren't the nicest.
Yeah, you always get them though.
But it gained me a new audience of 600 people to that knew how I was. The day before they didn't know me. Now they know me. Now they're
Absolutely.
interested in if I'm going to win or lose, and hopefully they might buy a ticket off me to come and watch the fight. Most importantly,
Absolutely. Absolutely. How ticket sales gone for you?
it's a 7 hour round trip to Newcastle for myself.
Right.
You know, so it's not easy, obviously.
Right.
I don't believe that my fight will be televised either, which I think would be
Shame.
I think it'd be unbelievable if this fight wasn't televised because
You're fighting Larry Alabama. I mean, that is.
you got a 6 fight undefeated heavyweight. Well, some people are saying that I'm gonna be this and that. I'm gonna be successful. I'm gonna win this. I'm gonna win that against a former top domestic fighter in a it sounds it's a cliche but a real crossroads fight.
It is a
If I win
crossroads
this
fight.
fight, Larry's finished with, and I move on to big things. I really believe if I win this fight, I'm gonna move on to some big things. I'll move near the top 10, and then who knows? I could be 12 months away from a British title fight.
Yeah. Wow.
If he loses this fight, he's over. If he wins it, it gives him a foothold to get back to where he was before. So I think it's a really interesting fight, and I think I'm no disrespect to the other fighters on the bill. It's not the fighter, the home fighters. It's the opponent. I've got an opponent that's a well-known domestic name.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've
I
got it
think
all to lose.
exactly. I think it's a really good fight as well. I think you've got 12 knockouts in 15 wins between us,
Right.
and you've got and I always bring a little bit of excitement to the ring, and so does Larry. So I'd be disappointed if it's not televised because I think the public will miss out on a real good fight. I think it's going to be a good fight. I'm hoping, from my perspective, it's going to be one-sided, but I know one thing for definite: it will not go 6 rounds. Whatever happens, this fight cannot go 6 rounds.
Wow.
Larry does not have 6 rounds in the tank, but Larry is a massive puncher, and so am I. It cannot go 6 rounds. The fight cannot go 6 rounds.
Wow.
It's a knockout. The fight is a knockout on paper, and
Either
in
one,
that,
either one
it's
of you could get it.
absolutely. I think going into the fight, I think some people will make me the favourite because I'm young, I'm fresh, and I'm hungry,
Yeah.
and people rate me to, maybe just behind Joshua and
Right.
Huey. Maybe they rate me just behind there. People have said.
Right.
Um, saying I'm going to be coming up. So I think the thing I've got to beat him. If I am what they think I am, I beat him. A lot of people make him the favourite because he's experienced. I've never been in there with someone like that, so he's
But
the
if you
favourite.
if you were to beat Larry, surely you would rank higher than Joshua because you've beaten a guy that's better than anybody Joshua's fought so far.
Oliver Miro is better than anyone Joshua has fought.
That's my point.
He's better than. I met Gary Cornish last week, and he's a great fella. He's
Yeah.
a really nice bloke. He's had 18 fights, and Larry Oliver Miro is better than anyone he's fought,
Right.
and he's rated 9 in Britain.
Right.
And that's no respect to Gary because he came last week and he's a very talented fighter. To be honest, I said to him before I didn't lie to him. I said, Gary, I didn't rate you before. Really, he's a good fighter. But if I beat Larry Oliver Miro, he's a better opponent than anyone rated 9 downwards in the British rankings. I think.
There you go. So
Obviously, there's some sections and that they're above. I think the top 8 or 9. But after that, if I beat Oliver Miro, surely I should shoot straight up there. I should shoot straight up. I think that's the plan behind the fight, the thinking behind it as well.
so if people want to follow you, get behind you, and support you, how do they do that?
I've got Twitter. It's David123Allen.
Yep.
I'm on there all the time. I post a lot of pictures. I post all fight stuff, and most importantly, I don't shut up. If anyone ever asks me anything or says anything, positive or negative, I'm there. I'm on it. I'm there.
You're on it.
And again, I'd like to thank all the people on there.
Wayne Lovett as one of your big fans.
Wayne, I don't know where Wayne Lovett's gone. He's had a falling out, I think, with the team. He's unfriended me on Facebook, Wayne. So if you're watching this, I've seen that. I've seen it. I don't know. He wrote a status the other day saying something, and I've disappeared off his friends list.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what that's about.
It could. I'm not sure. I can't really answer that either. But I'm sure he is a big supporter of you.
I bought the man dinner. That's all I'm going to say, Wayne. I bought you dinner. You know, I bought him dinner. You're going to do this to me? I don't know. I don't know.
I'm sure he's still a big fan and a big supporter of you. Social media is a
Absolutely.
strange thing.
He'll be watching this, so Wayne, get in touch. Mark Coolmer, he's coming to the fight. He's coming from London. He's coming all the way from London to Newcastle.
Absolutely fantastic for that.
Travelling all the way up. So after the weigh-in, I'm taking the man out for something to eat because I really appreciate that. It's a massive effort.
So, and do you have any more fans? If you look straight into the camera, any messages for all the rest of the fans that are there before we end?
Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them who are on there and support me. You know, they're all great, and I'm grateful for every single one of them. They're not supporters and fans. They're friends. They're
Right.
all of them are friends.
Great stuff.
I don't see them as supporters and fans because they're friends, aren't they? You get to know them, and
You appreciate them.
I really do. I properly appreciate the time. You know, if someone can take the time to send me a message saying good luck or how's this going, the least you can do is reply, and that'll be a message to a lot of fighters that I know that don't do that. I think it's going to take 15 seconds of your day to reply, so to make someone's day. You know, obviously the bigger names than me, I don't think it'd kill them to do so.
Absolutely. That's a fantastic thing, a fantastic attitude to have. Dave Allen, once again, thank you so much for talking to Bayloric TV. I'm so glad I was able to grab a hold of you and get this interview on.
Anytime, I've really enjoyed it, and hopefully after a good result on Saturday, we'll
Talk
catch
again.
up. We'll catch up. I hope so.
Take care.
Thank you very much.
All the best.
Thank you.